In today's video, we're going to talk about how to calculate slope and interpret the rate of change. This goes with today's lesson from Unit 2B, Lesson 1. Number 1 says, calculate the slope of the line for the table, graph, and set of points below. State if the slope is positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So let's start with the easy one first. I would call this one the easy one, right? Because we can see the graphical representation of the line. We see the nice points highlighted for us right here. And remember, when we have a graph of a line, we can use something called rise over run. So, rise is talking about our vertical direction, either up or down. So from left to right, from this point to this point, my rise is technically down 3 units. And then I'm going to go to the run, which is to the right 2 units. So I'm going down 3 units, over 2 units. So my slope would be -3 over 2. Now this is going to be a negative slope. As you can see, it decreases from left to right. Another way to calculate slope is by using the slope formula. And the slope formula is m, that's the letter that represents slope. So you take y2, y1, and subtract them, and divide it by the difference of x2 and x1. So now I'm going to look at this one right here. I'm going to take my slope formula that we just wrote before. I'm going to identify what my y2 and my y1 are. So that's y1, y2. This is my x1, my x2. I'm going to plug them in. So here, I'm going to do -4 minus -10. I'm going to divide that by 3 minus 6. And I get -4 plus 10 is a positive 6. 3 minus 6 is -3. So for my slope here, I get -2. And this is another negative slope. Now let's take a look over here. We're going to do the same thing with the slope formula, but now the 2 points that we're going to use aren't given to us in a very direct way. But all you have to do is look at the table and recognize that these are all just coordinates. So you can pick any 2 points that you want. So I'm going to pick the first and the second because, I don't know, that just makes sense to me. So my 2 points are 1, 10 and 6, 20. So I have my x1 and my x2. And I also have my y1 and y2. I'm going to plug it in the formula for slope. So over here, I know I'm going to have my y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And I'm just going to plug everything in. So I have 20 minus 10 divided by 6 minus 1. And that's going to be 10 over 5, which is a slope of 2, which is positive. So just as a little recap, if you're given the graph, just use the rise over run. It's easier. But if you're given a table of value, if you're given 2 points, you're going to calculate it using the slope formula. All right, now this question says, below is a graph displaying the amount of gas used while driving a car. Using the graph, determine the rate of change and interpret its real-world meaning. Okay, so if I want to determine and interpret the rate of change, I need to first understand what's happening on my graph over here. So I'm going to take this and make this just a little bit bigger. So you want to understand what this means. On the y-axis, we have distance in miles. And on the x-axis, we have gallons or gas used. Okay? So if I'm using my rise over my run, that's my movement in my vertical direction over my movement in my horizontal direction. I'm going to check out the y-axis first. I see that I'm going up by increments of 30. So that means I'm going up 30 miles, and I'm going over 1 gallon of gas. So that means my rate of change is going to be up 30 miles over 1. And this is a positive slope. Your slope is going to be 30. So we're going to fill that in over there. So my rate of change is 30, positive 30. You see it's increasing from left to right. The real world meaning behind this, we touched on this. For every 30 miles driven, 1 gallon of gas is used. Now my initial value, that corresponds to my y-intercept. So this really means our y-intercept. Where is my graph starting on my y-axis? It's starting here at the origin at 0. So my y-intercept is 0. So if I now know my slope is 30, my y-intercept or initial value is 0, I can use the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and plug it in. So my equation of my line is going to be y equals 30x plus 0, or just y equals 30x. So there you have it, guys. That's the answers to the homework tonight. I hope this video helped. I will see you tomorrow in class. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to my channel. There'll be more videos to come.